God, finally. Hello? Anyone there? Hey, turn those off.
I used to work late shifts at a grocery store near my apartment. One night around 11:40 p.m., I walked out to my car and noticed a guy sitting alone in a dark SUV a few spaces away. No headlights, no engine running, just sitting there. Right when I unlocked my car, his window rolled down. "Hey," he said casually, "you got jumper cables?" I told him no. Something already felt off. I'm not gonna lie, the guy wasn't even acting like someone with a dead car. No hood open, no hazards, nothing. Then he asked if I could still take a look at it. That wording bothered me for some reason. I laughed awkwardly and got into my car. The second I locked my door, he opened his own door and stepped out halfway, just staring at me. Not angry, not smiling either, just watching me. I drove home trying to convince myself I was overthinking it. But when I pulled into my apartment lot a few minutes later, the same SUV pulled in behind me. My stomach dropped instantly. The car started creeping behind me while I walked toward my building, slowly, matching my pace. I honestly didn't know what to do. Then another car entered the lot. A couple got out carrying groceries, and the SUV immediately sped off. I still think about that sometimes because maybe it was nothing, but the driver stared directly at me as he passed by. Not the road, me. Last summer, my friend booked this cheap Airbnb for us during a road trip. It was one of those small houses in the middle of nowhere where the nearest gas station was like 15 minutes away. The place itself looked normal, just old. The owner told us through messages that he might stop by briefly to grab tools from the shed behind the house. At the time, that didn't sound weird. Around 1 a.m., I woke up because I heard footsteps outside. At first, I thought it was my friend using the bathroom, but then I realized the sound was coming from the side of the house near my window. Slow, dragging footsteps. Back and forth. Back and forth. I checked my phone and remember seeing 1:13 a.m. exactly. I peeked through the blinds a little and saw a man standing near the shed. Just standing there. I'm not gonna lie, something about him looked wrong immediately. Maybe it was because he wasn't moving at all. He just stood facing the house like he was looking at the windows. I whispered to my friend to wake up, and when he looked outside too, he immediately went quiet. Neither of us really knew what to do. We kept telling ourselves maybe it was the owner. But why would the owner just stand outside at 1 a.m? Then the guy slowly walked toward the back door. Not rushed, just calm. That's honestly what scared me most. My friend locked the bedroom door while I grabbed my phone ready to call 911 if we heard anything. But after maybe 30 seconds, the footsteps stopped completely. The next morning, we checked outside. Nobody was there. But the back door handle had fresh scratch marks around it like someone had been trying to force it open quietly. We left within 10 minutes. The owner later claimed he was out of town the whole night. I still think about how close that guy got to coming inside. A few years ago, I started hiking alone because it helped with stress. Usually just easy trails during the afternoon. One day, I was at this trail about 40 minutes outside town. Pretty empty place. I only passed maybe 2 people the entire hike. About halfway through, I noticed this older guy sitting at a picnic table near the trail bathroom. Nothing creepy at first, but when I walked past him, he smiled and asked if I was hiking alone. I said yeah. Then he asked where I parked. That immediately made me uncomfortable. I remember pretending I didn't hear him properly and just kept walking. A few minutes later, I stopped at this small clearing to drink water and record a quick video for Snapchat. While I was talking, I noticed movement behind me in the trees. And there he was again. The same guy, just standing there between the trees pretending to look at something on the ground. I'm not gonna lie, my stomach dropped. Because there was no reason for him to be there. The trail looped the opposite direction from where I'd seen him earlier. I ended the video fast and started walking back toward the parking lot, trying not to panic. The whole time I kept hearing footsteps behind me stopping every time I turned around. When I finally reached the parking area, the guy was already there standing beside an old red sedan. I think it was a Chevy Cruze if I remember correctly. He smiled and told me his car was having issues and asked if I could come look at it. Absolutely not. At that point, I just wanted to leave. Thankfully, another couple arrived at the trail around the same time, and the guy immediately got into his car and drove away. which was interesting considering the car supposedly had problems. Later that night, I rewatched the Snapchat video I took in the clearing, and in the background, you could clearly see him standing behind me in the trees watching me the entire time.